Hi everyone, this is my final project for DES 250. Now I did change the law enforcement magazine from the original. The original was a little bit, you couldn't see the person, it looked very digital. So this is my new one. You could definitely tell from her face, and you can see it's not digitized or anything. You can see it clearly. I went back and I found a way to take care of how to do the spreads. And then I decided I wanted something that you could read everything clearly on the features. So my headlines, you can see them, and then definitely you can see just how I'm doing with having it clear to read. I went back again when I was doing the article, give it a little more space, give it a little more contrast, so that it has the noticeability and easy to read, but it's not just there. Again, with certain pictures, I had to go and figure out how to get the printer marks out. But in the end, I actually appreciate going back and doing that because it actually gave me a new perspective on how to do a magazine for my future projects. Changing up everything is a little more easier to read because I went back and I changed the body text to something a little more readable, which gave me a little more way of thinking. I like how it came out because it's a little more easier to read for me since my vision's a little bit changed. And I'm sure if it was read by somebody else, they would be able to read it too. And that's my first project with the magazine. My second project was my billboards. And I loved doing these billboards because honestly, they're easy to see. And I really love them, to be honest. I mean, they're nice. And, you know, as long as you can be able to read them legibly, that's the main part of everything, to get a good way to look at it. My favorite right now is this one, which I realize this may be the wrong billboard here. I thought the other billboard got put in, but for some reason it didn't. Huh. My Facebook page, I went and redid it because I decided I wasn't really happy with the original. And honestly, I think it gives it more depth to what a Facebook page should look like. It's really got a lot more to it than my original ideas, which gave me a good sense of what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be doing it. The greeting card, I wanted to add the logo to it, and I just had to figure out how, and then I just realized, well, why don't I just put the Cairo logo right where it's supposed to be? That would be right with the greeting. That way it's noticeable and it's right there. I added a little more text to this because I realized with adding some more to my Facebook page, I could easily make it more interesting on what's right in the postcard part itself. So I did add a little more text. Cairo, Egypt is actually one of the places that I've been studying on my own before I even started this project. So I really had a passion for it when I started. And I have the little logo right there. This design, it may not exactly be perfect, but it is based off of an example because I had to get a good idea of what a wine box looked like, and that was my struggle because I couldn't find any good wine boxes to use a reference. And the one I used for this it really didn't have a lot. It just mainly had the colors and a couple question marks on it. Other than that, there wasn't really much to it. And it's called a mixed mystery case, which is what the reference one was called too. I had to go with what I was given with my example so that I could easily make something within the lines of it, which is why this didn't have a lot of contrast to it, not a lot of design to it, because there wasn't a lot of design in the beginning of what I used. And this one, I used the mint tea bags because I like Lipton. I like how they're doing, and I like their tea in general. So, yeah, it may not be the most perfect project, but it is at least a project that I tried hard to work with. I know a lot of things aren't neatly clear on it, but honestly, everything is exactly how it's supposed to be on this because I used a Lipton tea box, and this is how everything was when I took it apart and looked at it from a real life perspective. These probably look like they should be flipped, but actually they're exactly where they're supposed to be when it's cut and put together, which is why I didn't do a whole lot with them. So that's my and then I'm about to forget. Gino's Bon Appetit. Now this was a project I did a long time ago, so actually going back and being able to do it a little bit, this I guess could have been better because it looks very digitized. But I mean, everything else is neat and organized, and it looks good. I probably could have added a background and make it better than we could have told, and then maybe a line. But honestly, this is pretty good because my original one wasn't perfect. And I added the Bon Appetito at the end with the little logo here just to add a little flair to it, to add that. But that's actually my 6 projects, and I hope this came out really good.